Joining me now, Brett Widmann, an American currently in Israel who has been in Israel since February 9th and actually is deciding to stay during this conflict. Brett, great to see you. I'm glad you're safe. Tell me, that's very interesting because so many of the people that I'm speaking to are trying to make their exit strategy. As we just pointed out, more than 30,000 Americans have been able to successfully do so. But you're choosing to stay. Tell us why.
Well, I intended on coming here to travel, see Tel Aviv. Obviously, I've been to the Dead Sea so far, Old Jaffa. Had plans to go to Haifa, Nazareth, and other places. But when the initial threat happened, I've been here before, and I didn't feel like I was in any immediate danger. I actually found out a little bit after the fact of everything happening. So what I ended up doing is I'm like, well, I'm going to play this by ear, improvise, kind of see how things go. Even though airlines have been down, with the airspace being closed, the department has done, and the embassy has done a really well job of ensuring that we could get out through Jordan or Taba. And I've always realized that that's been an option. So I haven't felt like I've been stranded. I haven't felt like I've been really unsafe or anything like that. It's been actually a very average experience overall, in the sense of I still have an average day of working, going out, going shopping, seeing friends, experiencing the neighborhood around me, and just trying to live a normal life while I'm here.
Have you seen any action, so to speak? I don't know. I mean, I'm assuming air raid sirens are going off. You're huddling in bunkers. I'm not sure if there's been explosions or anything nearby. Thankfully, hopefully not. But I mean, just give us a sense of what you're actually seeing when it comes to this armed conflict.
Yeah, absolutely. So I've seen a little bit of action and have heard obviously a lot of sirens. I'm about 15 minutes out of Tel Aviv, and typically what happens is we get a warning on our phone that says that there's alarms are about to start, warnings are ahead. And typically, shortly after that time, you'll hear a siren go off. And during that time, we typically evacuate to a basement shelter, kind of like a bunker. If you're out in public, one of the things that's really interesting is the infrastructure of a lot of the buildings has these bomb shelters and this protection built in. And as people are going about doing their business, shopping, walking around, when the sirens go off, they just vacate to the nearest shelter for protection. So as I've been out, even out late at night grocery shopping, I've heard sirens go off, and I see the Iron Dome defense system in the sky, doing defense, doing counter strikes on missiles. So it's been a very interesting experience. This isn't my first time I've been here. The other time I was here prior, there was a conflict, so I kind of knew what I was in for.
Yeah.
In terms of seeing anything really crazy, though, I'm near the Mediterranean Sea, so I'll hear when missile debris hits the sea.
Wow.
Otherwise, I haven't been in any immediate danger at all, to be honest.
What sort of American misconceptions have you been able to clear from your own brain and your own beliefs? Obviously, you come with a different lens than the average Israeli who lives with this day in and day out. I mean, have you learned anything? Have you been able to change or shift your thinking at all?
In a lot of ways, yeah. I mean, that even comes from my prior experience here. What's really different is there's so many things that are more common here that we as Americans wouldn't even imagine. And like I was saying, there's infrastructure all around the buildings when it comes to preparation for conflict, for bombs, for strikes, and so forth. Um, like I said, I'll be out walking in the street, shopping, doing my thing, and all of a sudden I'll get an alert on my phone. Phone goes off, sirens in the air, and people just peacefully, calmly walk to the shelter as if it's just part of everyday life. And that's something that's completely foreign
Right.
to, you know, everybody back home in the United States. It's
It's
completely unknown.
unfathomable,
It's
honestly.
completely
We
foreign.
we we don't deal with that at all on a day-to-day basis, and
No,
it's
no. I mean, it's kind of crazy when you think about it, because this is just normal everyday life in a lot of ways.
Mhm.
And now, obviously, I've noticed that there's a lot of people that handle it in stride. I mean, I was out in Tel Aviv yesterday, and in the middle of driving, had a warning, had to pull over, found the nearest shelter, went in, sat for about 10, 15 minutes. When it was over, left, continued on like it was no big deal.
Yeah.
So to have those interruptions, it's very weird and it's strange, especially like if you're in the middle of work or just
Right.
out, and it's just kind of an automated response.
Yeah,
But
it's hard for
most
me to
people
even
handle it in
fathom,
stride.
going grocery shopping, looking at produce, and then hearing an air raid siren and having to drop what I'm doing and find a bomb shelter. Let's get your
Right.
final take on this. I mean, obviously, you've been there long enough to make friends, as you mentioned, or even have work colleagues. What are they telling you about what they're seeing happen in Iran with the Israeli Defense Forces and American forces teaming up and essentially striking the Iranian regime over and over and over? What sort of feelings are you getting from these friends and colleagues in terms of how things are rolling out? Do they overall approve of what they're seeing, or do they have any sort of hesitations?
Everybody I've talked to has been very positive about it, to be honest. They see the issues that the current regime has, what it does to the area. For me being an outsider, it's interesting to see that as somebody you can say is local or a neighbor in terms of geographical location versus being on the other side of the world. So there's a lot of general positivity for this and a lot of positivity with how the United States has been working with the Israeli government and military on this, on this conflict, on this endeavor, however you want to call it.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, that's Brett Widmann. He's currently just outside of Tel Aviv. We hope you stay safe. We're wishing
thank
nothing
you.
but the best for you during your time there and hope to have you back one day soon.